Alrighty then, a follow-up to yesterday's short. Apparently, the story about the college scandal is a little bit deeper. I figured it would be, but everybody's making a big deal about this, so I'll scratch a little bit more than surface deep and cheap laughs. Apparently, there's about 50 people who are currently being charged with things ranging from fraud to racketeering, and the guy at the center of all of this, the one who was principally being charged, he published a list, and you can see it on the Justice Department, the U.S. Justice Department's website. He published a list where he named everyone that was in on this over the last 8 or 10 years. The list is 50 names long, and these are people running successful multi-billion-dollar international industries and a couple of actors that nobody cares about. That's a dig at the two actresses that everybody keeps pulling up front and center because, I don't know, we're supposed to care about them because they're women? Whatever. So here's my solution to this problem, because you'll really never be able to assess damages for university admissions cases going back 8 years. Most of those students probably went with their backup plans or went into trades. They've moved past the university phase. So the kids in the last year who are alleging enrollment discrimination, you hear their cases out. Everybody else, all the kids who benefited under this racketeering scam, under this wide-scale fraud, all of them, you remove their university accreditation, so their degree is worthless. They essentially have no degree. You remove their credentials. The universities involved in this sting, and that's like Yale, Georgetown, Yorktown, USC. It's 5 or 6 large universities. You remove their accreditations as a university and make them go through the accreditation process again. So all of their current enrollees, everybody currently enrolled at those big prestigious universities, yeah, your degrees aren't going to be worth shit because your university fucked up and fucked up hard. All of the people who were involved in this racketeering scheme, you charge them for the felonies that they obviously committed. Assessing damages is not going to be an easy thing to do. I would say they've already paid hundreds of thousands of dollars into this scam. Removing their kids' credentials will probably be punishment enough. Most of them are probably already in the workforce anyway, so you really only go to college to get that degree to land your first job. Everything after that first job, they don't care about your university credentials. They care about your previous work history. And we're getting to a point where degrees are basically worthless anyway because kids are coming out dumber than they went in. Thanks, liberals. You've ruined education even more than it already was. So, these people losing their credentials, they're not going to get hurt over this. Unless they're actively working in education where that credential is a requirement, a prerequisite for their position, which I can't think of anything where that is actually true. Remove the accreditation from the kids who benefited. The parents have already paid their damages out in bribes, so they're done. All of the faculty members who were involved in the racketeering they get their teaching licenses permanently revoked. They're fired. They have egg on their face. The universities lose their accreditation, so they have to go through that all over again, which is going to be very expensive. And they'll think twice about who they hire in the future because of this kind of scandal. And the public perception of these universities will be forever tarnished because of this decade-long $100 million racketeering scam that we know about. It probably goes on longer than that. Like I said yesterday, the history of people bribing grades for their students, especially the ultra wealthy. It's a long pillar of the American education system. The difference is, back in the day, the kids of these wealthy entrepreneurs and businessmen weren't fucking retarded, and they weren't framed as social media influencers. They were smart in their own right. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. This shit show is hilarious to me.